This is a companion video to the Be Credible textbook on evaluating information vigorously and understanding clickbait and content farms.
Today's tutorial will be focusing on clickbait and content farms. We will go through the steps on how to identify them and evaluate their credibility using the credibility cues. We have all seen clickbait in our time, and as internet users, it is important to understand what it is and why it's good to avoid it.
According to TechCrunch, clickbait is the intentional act of overpromising or otherwise misrepresenting in a headline, on social media, in an image, or some combination. What you're going to find when you read a story on the web. According to the Washington Post, clickbait is described as the teasers that are aimed to encourage people to click on them without giving much information about what the readers will see next.
People might ask why this is bad. While there are many reasons why clickbait is non-credible, one reason is because of the business model behind it. Many websites and advertisers use clickbait methods to lure in clicks from people, which can be turned over for profit by other advertisers. They refer to these companies as content farms. The more popularity a content farm gets, the more advertisers will pay publishers to promote their product or brand on the website.
This leads us into the second reason clickbait and content farms are not credible. The quality and truthfulness of the article becomes secondary to the article's ability to attract readers. According to the Columbia Journalism Review, the magazine, Slant Magazine, pays its writers $100 per month, plus $5 for every 500 clicks, for 3 pieces a week.
This evidence helps support the fact that there is a business behind clickbait and proves authors are less incentivized to present accurate information in the articles. Writers who are motivated to utilize clickbait incorporate shocking or controversial headlines to grab readers' attention and spark emotion that prompts them to click. Here are some examples of classic clickbait.
So after seeing some examples and hearing information about clickbait and content farms, we are now going to discuss a couple ways to avoid getting sucked up into them. To start, it is important to always use the credibility cues we've discussed in class. Is the author freelance? What makes them credible enough to write about this topic? Is the headline relevant to the article's content? Is it exaggerated? What is the overall credibility of the publication? These are just some of the questions that should be asked if you're unsure that you've run into a content farm or a clickbait article.
Another consideration to take when evaluating these articles is determining where the content showed up. For example, many times clickbait articles will appear on websites next to several advertisements as sponsored content. These publishers like to sneak clickbait articles in with advertisements to make it appear if it's just another ad. Other times, clickbait content will be towards the bottom of a web page near the contact information and terms and conditions that are usually featured on the bottom.
This is a prime example from the Weather Channel on how clickbait was presented. As you can see, the clickbait articles are featured as sponsored content, but they are also towards the bottom of the page, even though you can't quite see the full page on this screen. These articles were towards the bottom where they usually have the terms and conditions, which just goes to show that clickbait was put in a little section and it kind of displays as sponsored content.
With this information and these steps, you will be better equipped to detect clickbait and content farms and therefore can avoid using these articles as sources.
Happy searching!